What's up, everybody? Welcome to ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news. I'm Drew Bosley, and that's the one and the only. It is Scott Savage. Scott, what's going on, buddy?
I jumped back into Grand Theft Auto online yesterday.
That.
You got to join me.
Dude, I am down. I got it downloaded. I was like, yo, I'm jumping back in. I'm making my return.
I wanted to do some races, but I'm in for all, really.
Oh, yeah, okay, I'm down. Yo, the heist. I'm still lost for the heist. I said to my brother, yo, I got it downloaded. You should join. He goes, why do I want to do that? All right, that's a good point.
I beat that game before my son became a man.
It's just one of those, yeah, I get it. I just want to play it. Yeah. There's lots of us still wanting to play that game. Dude, the heist I never finished. I did like 2 of them or 3 of them, and that was it. Man, I missed out. You know, when you go back through your like library of games of shame and things you've missed, yo, the heist in GTA Online, that's me. That one hits hard. It's hard to, how do I get that void caught up? I need a dedicated crew, Scott.
Yeah, you got to get a crew together, and I got the pilot seat taken care of.
No, that's okay. Well, there's 2 of us. I don't know if we can rope Kyle back in. We'll try. We can rope everybody in right now. Noon, Monday to Friday, over on twitch.tv/theofficial ITG, as well as youtube.com/official ITG. But if you can't join us live, hit us up later. InsideTheGame.ca podcast services, TV streaming networks around the globe. Dude, how was the weekend? Was it good?
Oh, not bad at all. Kind of blurred right on by. I'm spending a lot of time in our review games trying to finish it up before I move on to the next one. Oh, dude. Some of them are hard to put down.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the way we like it, though. Dude, we got a great show today. Will E3 ever just go away? Another big publisher will not be on the E3 show floor for 2023. Stalker 2 devs discuss cyber hacks and blackmail, and a new Souls-like game accused of taking Elden Ring animations and more. Scott, right, we're hitting now. So it's just funny how some of these things just turn out, Scott.
Yeah, it really is.
Let's get into it, because I got always something to say. Microsoft confirms it won't be on the E3 2023 show floor. Chris Scullion over at VGC has this to say. The company has already announced that its digital game showcase stream will take place on June 11th, just 2 days before E3 opens its doors. According to a statement issued to IGN, Microsoft will be co-streaming this presentation as part of E3. It will not, however, be following this up with a physical booth at the Los Angeles Convention Center, where E3 will be held this year for the first time in 4 years, Scott.
Oh, man.
Dude, isn't that 4 years without an E3? You ever thought that day would happen? Obviously, COVID had something to play in there, but, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. But, quote, we can't wait to host our Xbox game showcase on June 11th, and we'll share more details later. The company statement told IGN. Wow, that's a great statement. We also look forward to co-streaming our event as part of the E3 Digital and will not be on the E3 show floor. It should be noted that Microsoft did not attend the show floor the last time there was a physical E3 event in 2019 or 2018. Scott, not all that surprised. But so far, Ubisoft is the only major publisher to publicly commit to attending the physical E3 show. Nintendo has already confirmed that it will be skipping this year's event. And of course, we always know that PlayStation's never there either.
Yeah.
What is going on with E3? Is there a point anymore, Scott?
It certainly seems like it's being propped up. It's almost like a scarecrow E3 at this point. It resembles kind of what it's supposed to look like. Kind of, but it's nowhere near what it used to be, and it's quite disappointing to me.
No, absolutely, right? E3 was always such a spectacle, and you waited for those days of, okay, we have Xbox, Bethesda, Nintendo, we have PlayStation, we have Ubisoft, we have EA. It was just like the big heavy hitters were there to play, and let's see what we go with. And now it's not even close, right? Now we're gonna get on June 11th, we're getting a Starfield Direct, Scott, on June 11th. And the E3 Xbox showcase in the same day. Not anything tied onto the show floor, though, with E3. Xbox is just lingering on the outside of E3, being over here where PlayStation nowhere to be found, Nintendo not going to be there, EA not going to be there. Ubisoft says, yeah, we'll throw our hat in the ring and see what kind of sticks. So it's just like, what is the future look like for E3? Is it necessary anymore? Or do you think Jeff Keighley has really taken the showcase and made it his own now with Summer Games Fest and all that kind of stuff?
I think Keighley really has kind of rebranded it, reinvented it. That's what it needs to. It is what it needs to be at this point now, and he's also proven that we didn't need E3 exactly to begin with. But everybody's splitting up and doing their own presentations. It does open a lot of the airwaves up. They can each do their own presentation exactly how they see fit. Don't have to fit into any slots. So maybe there is a silver lining to it.
Maybe, right? Because at the end of the day, it was always PlayStation ended Monday nights. They were like 9 o'clock. We're on the show floor. This is our spotlight. And then they ended that conversation for the day, right? So you had Xbox before that, and you went in and whatever, and then PlayStation ended so they could hold that conversation longer. Where now it's like PlayStation goes, yo, we'll just do a state of play. We don't need this event. Nintendo, dude, they can just do their own thing. They've been doing the Direct now forever, so like they don't need E3. E3, I think, is shifting more to third parties and indies. I think it's kind of where we're going to see them try to capitalize on showcasing stuff. They're just, man, E3 is just not what it used to be. And I was hoping, I guess the writing's been on the wall for a very long time. We've been calling it forever. The fact that it's still here, it's still struggling to try to kind of keep that mind share alive is somewhat surprising that they just haven't shut it down altogether, especially with the rise of Keighley, right? And now we get the Keighley's. Jeff Keighley's got this show, that show, whatever next, whatever he wants to do, people listen and they show up, right? So he'll get news from PlayStation. He'll get everything, all the big heavy hitting show pieces we used to get with E3 is now just put on Jeff Keighley's plate instead.
Yeah. Well, and as they all take their own shortcuts to get to their consumer base. Because Nintendo knows if you're there for Nintendo, you'll watch them wherever they are.
Absolutely. You'll get them regardless, right? If you're a Nintendo fan, you're there for the Nintendo Direct. It's capitalizing on those who aren't the Nintendo fan that go, hey, I'm already here. I'll just check this out at the same time.
Yeah.
And then go, oh, man, okay, that does look cool. And then now they become the Nintendo fan as well, right? It's kind of trying to capture more of the pool that they don't already own. Dude, I'm a PlayStation fan. I'm an Xbox fan. Let's go. Whatever they show, I'm already there anyways. But who else can pull me in to be on their side? Stadia did at one point.
Yeah.
Right? It was kind of like, it's just one of these showcases of E3's just changed so much over the years. I just don't feel it's necessary anymore to have that E3 unless they pivot completely to third parties and indies. And like that's
I'm a little
worried. Future.
I'm a little worried everybody's getting kind of blocked off in their own corridors now, though, with all these directs and exclusivity being, well, the never-ending song this year.
Yeah.
Just who's going to buy up what company, exclusivity locked away behind closed doors. And now the presentations were not even intermingling.
Nope.
It is a little bit worrisome.
Absolutely. I know some people are already booked and ready to go for E3 and they're going to be off there, but I'm going, what's there? I'm really curious. Like, I know stuff will be there, but who is there? What's going to be the big event? What's the showstopper when you go to E3? Because Xbox, again, like we say, off doing their own thing and the others just aren't around. So I don't know. We'll see what the future holds. I think they capitalize on the third parties and focus on indies and showcase what they have to show and then have their own event. But it's hard. It's going to be hard pressed for E3 to come back from what Jeff Keighley's built and overtake his throne. I don't know if it's possible at this point, right? Because he's just done so well over the past.
I think he effectively changed the branding on it forever.
I think so, right? Yeah. But, dude, let's get into the next one because this one's something you've been up to. Stalker 2 developer issues statement following cyber attacks and blackmail. Tom Henderson over at Insider Gaming. The Stalker 2 developers, GSC Game World, have issued a statement following a recent cyber attack that has led to a data breach of employee information and game assets. The hackers behind the attack recently threatened to release 30 gigs of Stalker 2 data if their demands were not met. Quote, "We have been enduring constant cyber attacks for more than a year now. We have faced blackmail, acts of aggression, hacks, attempts to hurt players and fans, and efforts to damage the development process and reputation of our company, end quote. The statement reads. It continues, quote, in the event of any leaks, we ask that you refrain from watching or distributing information about Stalker 2, Hearts of Chernobyl. Outdated and world in progress material may dilute the impression of the final idea that we have put in the game. We encourage you to stay patient and wait for the official release for the best experience possible. We believe that you will love it, end quote. Scott, what is the point of ruining a studio, a company, employees' lives, and fans who are excited for something like this? Just to kind of put it out there and destroy it. Dude, remember the GTA 6? Remember the Last of Us Part 2 leak?
Like, yeah, all these I remember that one.
Who do they benefit, man?
No, I think this is an act of malfeasance by regional politics, I think. This is all to do with that cross-border conflict, and we're seeing citizens do what they can on either side to try and, I guess, throw their weight behind it. It all seems silly to me because at the end of the day, this is video games and the world that I escape to.
Well, that's just it, right? I think you said it right there. It's escape to. We play these games so we can get away from stuff, have a good time, hang out with friends, chit chat, party, do whatever in a game world, and just kind of live in a world that we don't already have sometimes or have to deal with. Just try to get our mind off things, right? And have a good time. Instead, you get people who want to ruin it for others. Man, I never quite.
We've seen a lot of that in the last couple months of releases. It's insane.
We have, haven't we? Like, we've seen a ton of it, and it's just unfortunate to see. So hopefully, Game World and GSC Game World can get things sorted out. Cyber attacks are just unfortunate. It's just not necessary. And these are people's livelihoods, right? They're trying to get through day to day and build a great game for people to enjoy. And when they're dealing with this, it just delays everything.
Their day to day is already hard enough.
Yep, absolutely. Speaking of hard, Scott, let's get into some hardship here as well, because this came over the weekend. Souls-like dev accused of reusing From Software animations. Jody McGregor over at PC Gamer. Bleak Faith Forsaken, a review you might have recently seen on ITG.
There's a bit of a personal element in this one.
is a recently released Souls-like from indie developer Archangel that resembles a cyber goth take on the From Software formula. However, close it. Dude, am I really? However,
it is.
It is, man. It's just the way it's written is just throwing me off this morning. From Software games, particularly Elden Ring, has become a point of contention since its release on March 10th. Players have begun pointing out just how similar some of the animations are, including a character who seems to have some of Melena's moves and another who apparently has those of an Abyss Watcher from Dark Souls 3. Scott, I saw a comparison of the animations here. And now, in the defense of Archangel, they say that they have purchased these assets, these animations from the Epic Marketplace to help build their game. A lot of people use the Epic Marketplace, right? It is a show front for them to go in, grab some assets, and then bring them over into their game. It kind of helps simplify some of the work and things that need to go into it. Here's the problem. These assets that were created in there and sold from Persia Ninja is the person who sold these assets to Archangel. You can go in right now and probably buy them still, if they're still up there. But these assets, dude, look like exactly that they were pulled from Elden Ring.
Yeah, the exact same animations.
Exactly.
Not inspired by. This is, well, and it does make sense because you can buy that as just an item from a game store.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing. And we compared it to Elden Ring too, and people gave us flack for it. Funny how that works, Scott.
Yeah, an incredible amount of attention that got, and it's funny. I feel a little vindicated.
A little bit. It's funny. It's always. I like a divisive review, right? I like the spectrum of people. Either they like it or they hate it sometimes, and they go back and forth to have a conversation. We saw conversations carry over the weekend that on our review and such, that people were back and forth just talking about it with themselves, which was fantastic. Some of them attacked us, like, well, welcome to the internet. Others agreed with us, right? And so it's always all over the place. But when you compare, when I saw this break over the weekend too, and they're giving me flack because I mentioned Elden Ring, I get the team is only 3 people, but you're still in the same genre, right? So it's kind of one of those things.
And my understanding of it, because I wasn't in that review, but my understanding of it was that you'd brought in to describe the subgenre of what it is.
Pretty much.
Elden Ring, the FromSoft formula, as stated in this article. And that's still a valid point, in my opinion. Right. Only made stronger by this information. It's incredible. They are only three people in the studio, so I want to cut them a little bit of slack here. It's not easy to make a video game, but
no, not at all.
There cannot be any debate. It does appear to be like Elden Ring.
I saw a video yesterday, and it was literally the animation side by side from Elden Ring and Bleak, dude, and it was like spot on. It was perfect, and you kind of wonder now. Some people are on the one side of it going, okay, they're with the developer. It was purchased on the store on the Epic Marketplace, and that's the problem. Others were like, yo, you just ripped off Elden Ring, right? And I want to give Archangel the benefit of the doubt that they didn't just pull that code and everything else, that whole process out of Elden Ring. And hopefully it was just, but then, dude, is it Persia Ninja that pulled that code? Like, who over at Epic Games needs to pull this down and go, yo, you can't do this? Or do they go, I don't care at all, and do they just leave that code up there, and now everybody has a piece of Elden Ring if they're making a game and want that code? It's right there for them, right? That animation.
I think that is how it works. It's going to have a little bit more of a warning label on there now. Like, hey, you need to know some people are not going to appreciate this.
No, yeah. So it's been interesting to watch this unfold, to say the least. But on both Discord and the game's Steam forum, Archangel Studio addressed the accusations, explaining that some of the bleak-faced animations are assets purchased from the Epic Marketplace, and linking to the profile of an Unreal Engine asset seller named Persia Ninja. One of the assets sold there, labeled PN Axe Animation, closely resembles the moveset of Bloodborne's Hunter Axe. Quote, the marketplace was used to fill in generic art, and was still edited to fit in the general needs of the art direction. That's one thing, Scott. But they didn't pull as inspiration. They just pulled the artwork and put it in their game. Right? So this is the other side of it too. Some things don't need to be changed, but when it comes down to, like, dude, some of the first boss, dude, it's the first boss you fight. That's the issue everybody's already having. So you are maybe, I would say, 20 minutes tops into the game, you're at a first boss. It wasn't hard to get there, believe me. So I'm up there
after you fight the controls. That is.
Well, yeah, that's a whole.
We better not get into the whole review now, but
that's on a whole other thing. But dude, they just copied, pasted, and put it in their game, right? And that works to some things, I think, but other things you gotta be a little bit more mindful of. And this is where they're starting to get a lot of that flack, going, "Hey, this is just Elden Ring we're playing, and Elden Ring is just much better." Like, it's just one of those.
Yeah.
Right? At the end of the day.
Nobody is going to challenge Elden Ring for quite some time. No. That can be said with pretty good confidence on my part.
Absolutely. However, the other side of it is the developers have submitted a ticket with Epic Game Store or the Epic Marketplace to kind of figure out what's going on here. I do appreciate that the studio themselves are being upfront. They're being transparent. They're looking into it. They want to get this resolved because they don't want to be a copy, cut, paste kind of scenario here, right? They want to create their own thing and something unique and something that's going to be memorable for years to come, hopefully. It's just, dude, this is a rough start to a game. So
yeah,
we will see.
Hopefully something is resolved and it informs the rest of the environment, the rest of the industry. Can we borrow assets? Do we really need to tweak them? Is the idea of a storefront worth it, given that worry?
Who's curating the Epic Marketplace, right? If you can put just basically whatever in there and rip off other code or animations and things like that, like, dude, we can be all kinds of hurt in here.
If Nintendo had one of those and come up with a first-person shooter real quick, the Pokemon you've never seen before.
That's right, dude. Fan enthusiasm for Castlevania is motivating for Konami, developer says. Jordan Miller over VGC had this to say: Konami developer has acknowledged the excitement and enthusiasm of the fans online for the Castlevania franchise amidst reports of a reboot. In a new interview with IGN, Konami assistant producer Scott, you're over this one, buddy. What do we got?
Tsutomu Taniguchi.
Dude, the T is silent there?
The TS makes a sound, yeah.
Well, you fooled me.
Like tsunami.
Fair enough. Yeah, I guess so. That makes sense. Said that the buzz was really motivating for Konami. The interview was conducted to mark the release of Dead Cell's Return to Castlevania, a crossover expansion that combines the two franchises. Dude, that's awesome. What are the likelihood that we're getting more Castlevania here? We did recently get a Netflix series as well, right? You there?
Oh, I've gotten a bit of delay there.
Okay.
Yeah, you caught up all at once. That Netflix series that must have been 4 or 5 years ago now, though.
No, wait, really? Already?
I think so.
I'm looking at it. I'm looking it up right now.
Oh man, it's just on the edge of my memory because I remember it has one of the strongest intros of any anime series ever.
June. So the 5th season, dude, was just last year. So
okay,
it's been going for a while. Yeah. So that's a bright side to it all. But what are the likelihood that we're going to get a lot more Castlevania here in the near future?
I think this is a very good chance. We've seen a lot of resurgency over that game type. Think of Moonscars. Metroid Dread came out. That was what feels like too long ago now. But we are getting that inspiration of that kind of retread, the new overworld. I'm all wrapped up in Metroid Prime in my head right now because I still love that. And I see that Castlevania influence. Metroidvania are almost one and the same. And I think we're going to see that subgenre kind of step back into the light again. I'm really there for it.
That's cool. I think that's a great thing to see. I think it's great to see Konami want to come back, right? Because they've been dormant in the first place for so long that we've kind of just missed them altogether, especially within our industry. It's been so long that they just went pachinko machine and now, gone. Like ever since the whole thing with Kojima and Konami, dude, they just haven't really been the same. So hopefully they'll be able to fix things and kind of turn things back around. But we're getting there. I think we're starting to get there. Right, we're getting Silent Hill and a whole whack of Silent Hill content coming out with new games and film and all kinds of stuff. So now we'll get into this as well. And then the talk right now of Metal Gear Solid 3 remake as well.
Yeah, like this is hopefully a good sign of things. So this is a fan outcry, and the developers listen, they respond, and this is another example of just that.
No, that's perfect, dude. What else you're excited? I don't know. Are you excited for this one, Scott? Atomic Heart 2 is already planned for development. It's claimed. Grant Taylor Hill over at Insider Gaming. Atomic Heart debuted on the 21st of February, launching to a relatively eager reception. Have you played this yet, Scott?
No, this is one I've been trying to clear my schedule to get to it. Well,
Gotcha.
And then, like I mentioned, I go and download Grand Theft Auto again.
It was generally well received, but some bad press began surfacing that married the launch somewhat. That's kind of, it happens, right? Hopefully it's not that bad, but I've heard mixed things on the release of the game, dude. I've heard ups and downs of Atomic Heart, but they're already into the sequel. Now in an effort to push aside the negative news and the look to the future, Mudfish, the game developers, have reportedly confirmed that Atomic Heart 2 is planned for development. So that's not so bad. Dude, if they're able to get through the rough times, it's always cool to see them and get the game going. It must have done well enough, though, that it warrants a sequel.
Yeah, well, I've seen a lot of real big popularity behind it. People really appreciate the wacky quirkiness bits of it. It seems to have an identity of its own. So I want to see how that's worked out in the second one, and I still have to get into the first one. I hope I enjoy it.
Absolutely. Scott, we do have 2 games out today. What do we have?
We have Rough Justice 84 on PC and Barotrauma on PC. Ooh, Barotrauma gives me some trauma.
Just like that, Scott. That's going to wrap up today's show, everybody. Thank you for hanging out with us. This has been ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news. You can always join us at noon Eastern over on Twitch and YouTube at the official ITG. But if you can't join us live, hit us up later. InsideTheGame.ca podcast services and TV streaming networks around the globe. Until tomorrow, everybody, I'm Drew. That's Scott. We'll see you inside the game.